Okay, so I don't often do this, but I would like to actually help promote another channel because I think it's very good, it's very interesting, and it deserves a lot more views than it currently seems to get. So basically, the channel is called The Folklorist. Now, this is actually, and I've just found this out based on a TV show, but I don't know why the YouTube videos don't seem to get so many views because I'm really impressed by the way, by the sort of way they go about presenting the show. I think it's really captivating. I think it's interesting. So just go read out a little bit what this is about. The Folklorist is a half-hour television series produced by New TV, a community access television station located in Newton, Massachusetts. The series explores some of the unique and lesser-known stories throughout history. Each half-hour episode of the show contains three or four feature segments that go into the backstory and lasting effects of a particular topic of folklore or hidden history. So there's 13 episodes, and if we assume there's three per episode, then we're talking around 40 individual cases. So the executive producer is Robert Kelly. The producers are Andrew Eldridge and Angela Harrier, and it's presented by John Horrigan. For me, Mr. Horrigan really helps the show. I love his presenting style. He's very enthusiastic. He's actually one of the best presenters I can think of because he's clearly enthusiastic about the subjects that he's talking about. It's not just a monotone narrative. He really gets into it. So basically, some of the videos that they feature on their YouTube channel, and whether this is kind of a segment of the television show or not, I'm not sure. I've never seen it on terrestrial TV, so whether this is limited to the New England area or not, I'm not sure. But it is an Emmy Award winning, and I can understand why. So basically, just to give a sort of taste of some of the things that they feature, it includes the Coatingly Ferries case here in England, the Legend of Hugh Glass, um, the Great Boston Molasses Flood. This is just a sampling. There's many, many where these came from. Um, the Children's Blizzard, the New England Lighthouse Storm. Um, there's many, many other very interesting cases. George Washington and the Poison Peas. The Angels of Mons, which was a famous phenomenon during World War One. The Cardiff Giant, that's not Cardiff, Wales, that's Cardiff, New England. But basically, it's just a very interesting segment. And what I like about this is that when we think about folklore, at least in the UK, we tend to think of mythical creatures, fairies, hobgoblins, dwarfs. We also tend to think of folklore as being quite distant. What I like about this series is it also covers much more recent cases that are a bit unusual or quirky or have somehow entered into a popular imagination. I don't want to give too much away, but another one is Porky's Prank, which is, I'm not going to give this away, I'm not going to give a spoiler, but basically that was right up to the 1970s and it's entered kind of the popular imagination in Washington State. Um, So I really recommend checking out this channel if you're interested in kind of mysteries. And it's really watchable because each video is only about the average between 3 minutes and none of them are more than 10 minutes. Um, and like I say, the presenting style is just really good. They have actors playing the roles of the people involved in these stories. So it's just very interesting. And it covers everything from the early 19th century right up to the 1970s and before that as well. I should say going back to the 17th century. Um, but it is important that we have an outlet for things like this because folklore is part of culture, part of heritage. It's certainly a quirkier part of heritage. It's part of the lesser known side of history. But I think it's very interesting. Um, it kind of the format reminds me somewhat of a TV show that used to be in the UK called 14 TV. Not exactly the same thing because in that there was no actors. It was set up quite differently. But 14 TV, for any of my British viewers who remembers that, it was basically a priest, the Reverend Lionel Fanthorpe, who went around. He was a bit of an eccentric. Went around in a motorbike and a leather jacket, and basically talking about all sorts of mysterious cases, UFO situations, ghosts, weeping Madonnas, Catholic icons that weep blood, all sorts of strange things. A shrunken sailor in a Cornish village that's allegedly cursed, all sorts of things. So this somewhat reminds me of that. But I would recommend just checking out the channel. I'll put a link under this video. And the reason I wanted to make this is because I don't understand why they don't have more views. The videos are really well put together. I suppose it's based on a TV show, so I guess the TV show probably has a lot more views. But I don't know why this channel doesn't get more attention. It really should. So that's the purpose of this video. If you think you're interested in the subject, do check it out. Well worth watching. Cheers.